Okay, family, thank you so much for joining me once again. You see, I said it in my previous videos concerning what is happening on global stage involving Donald Trump, Venezuela, and all this banter going on. Now, I said it that the UN Charter is broken. There's no system holding the world right now. The whole world is back to the jungle system. I will show you what the UN Charter intended to do. The prime key player in structuring the UN Charter and why the United States have to behave the way they are behaving right now. After the capturing of the Venezuela president, many of the world leaders, including the AES is currently the last leadership that condemned the act of Donald Trump. Now, all of the world leaders from Russia, China, everybody, including the African Union, although they are of no use to us, but in terms of conversation like this, we need to include them. Good. Everybody, including the Ghana government, condemning the United States, all of them referring the United States to the UN Charter. Everybody is speaking and referring to the UN Charter because it looks like the UN Charter, people are under some kind of illusion that is holding the world in order. No, the Charter is designed to keep the world steady while the United States run the world to the level where when it gets to the point where power is drifting away from them, then they can take over and assume full power and do whatever they have to do. They cannot allow power to leave them. I'm going to prove that to you right now. We are the same people shouting that who made the United States the world police. Meanwhile, you all in 1945 have given the United States power to become the police of the world. I'll prove that to you. So at the same time, you, the world leaders, referring the United States and then referring your statements or the end of your statement to the UN Charter, give more power to the United. You are only proving that the United States is the world police. That is what you are proving without knowing. After the world leaders condemning the United States and all of them referring the United States to the UN Charter, question was asked. Donald Trump was asked a question by journalists. He was on an interview. And listen to what he said. Because you see, whatever you want to do in this world, it is believed that at least the UN Charter is a body that at least should stop you from going to some certain extent. Chairman said he doesn't need the international law because the UN Charter is there to make sure that everybody respect the international law. He doesn't need it. UN Charter or whatever, his own mind, only his own mind can stop him at the extent at which he can go. Listen to that.
Is there anything that you think can constrain your power on the world stage if you believe that something is against national security? Do you see any checks on your power on the world stage? Is there anything that could stop you if you wanted to?
Yeah, there's one thing, my own morality, my own mind. It's the only thing that can stop. And,
Not international
and that's
law.
very good. I don't need international law. I'm not looking to hurt people. I'm not looking to kill people. Remember this, I've ended 8 wars. Nobody else has ever done that. I've ended 8 wars and didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. Pretty amazing. Obama got it. He was there for a few weeks and he got it. He didn't even know why he got it.
But do you feel your administration needs to abide by international law on the global stage?
Yeah, I do. I do. But it depends what your definition of international law is. But the answer is I do. But we have to keep the United States safe. We have to keep parts of the world safe that we feel responsible for. NATO is not feared by Russia or China at all, not even a little bit.
You heard him, right? He said something very important. The journalist asked him a question about his administration respecting international law. He said, yes, I do, but it's in front of it. We need to keep the United States what? Safe. Now, what that means is that the United States power cannot leave the United States. If respecting international law means that the United States will lose its power on global stage, then we are going to break the rules. That is just what Donald Trump said. Now, let me take you through detail of this UN Charter, and you will understand that the whole world is making a very big mistake. The drafting of the UN Charter and the establishment of the UN Charter in actual fact, give power to only one person. United States to run the world. So I don't know why the world is complaining today. Who made it the world police? Who made it the world police? You did it. And now Donald Trump is telling the whole world that, look, I don't give a hoot about you. I'm not going to rock with your UN charter or whatever it is that you're referring us to. That's why I said that the charter is broken. There's no law. There's no rule guiding the world anymore. The European Union cannot do anything. Nobody can do anything because they have the power to drive. It is now the survivors of the fittest. Now, Donald Trump is threatening Greenland to take Greenland. They are going to take this. They want to take Venezuela. We are going to run it. They are now expanding their empire. I'm telling you, mark my word, in few days to come, the UN Charter, a new rules and regulation or charter will be structured in replace to the UN Charter. And this will be done by the person who will win this global stage war. The UN Charter was structured as a response to the failure of the League nation after the World War II. Now, what's something? Why was the UN Charter established in the first place? The UN Charter was established primarily to prevent another world war and to create a system of collective global security and cooperation. The prevention of another war is the reason why the UN Charter was established. Now, let me ask you this question. From 1947 all the way till now, as we are speaking, we have created more war than we have stopped more war. Although the UN Charter has been there. The main goal of the UN Charter, the goals of the UN Charter include maintaining international peace and security, prevent wars. We have created more. By who? You know the answer already. The reason why some people are breaking these rules and nothing is happening to them, especially the United States like this, is because they are the mastermind behind the drafting of the charter. Now, when you look at this, preventing wars, we have created more wars. Manage conflict. You know how the United States, when it comes to conflict managing, especially in Africa, when the conflict has to come through backdoor first, you understand that statement, right? Then we come in to manage it. When they are coming to manage the conflict, what is at stake? Your resources, your critical minerals. So to get your critical minerals, the conflict must stay there for us to be managing it while the critical minerals are going. And promote peaceful resolutions. Now, let me tell you something. I said it from the beginning that this was structured by the United States to keep the world steady as they are running the world going. The day they realize that power is driven completely from them, they will take over and assume full power to do whatever they have to do to maintain their power. They don't care a fig about this. Promoting friendly relations among nations. We are more divided and we have created more enemies today. The UN Charter is there, but the United States is saying today that they will not want, at any cost, will China and Russia be closer to their doorstep. And China and Russia are also saying that we are not going to allow you to be closer to our doorstep. That's why you have the Ukraine vibe over there. You understand? Now, when you come down a little bit, encouraging international cooperation on economic development, human rights, health, education, and humanitarian issues. Now, when you talk about the human rights, it's only operate in Africa. These are designed excluding Africa and the global south. The human rights only operate in Africa. When it comes to the health issue, we have become, a testing ground. When it comes to education, we don't have education, we have programming. On humanitarian issues, this is another arms of this charter. Reportedly, some of the humanitarian organizations have been profiting from conflict rather than trying to solve problems and then providing humanitarian assistance to people. Yes! Now, the next slide. The prime key player in establishing the UN Charter, the United States of America was the key driving force behind the UN Charter. I told you that the UN Charter was actually designed, or established as a response to the failure of the League of Nations. You understand? The UN was largely designed by US leadership, especially under President Franklin Roosevelt, chairman, the 32nd president of the United States. The term United Nations itself was coined by Roosevelt in 1942. The UN headquarters is located in New York City. The US hosted the conference where the charter was drafted and signed. They are in charge of whatever system it is that you think is going to hold them and stop them from doing whatever. That's why they do whatever they have to do, because they drafted the system to keep everybody steady, not them steady. You understand? When their interest is threatened, they go in, break rules. You cannot do it. Huh? Now, let me make this statement and make it clear. Modern international law, okay, the post-war II, before this, the international law, as we talk about it, it was established by European colonial powers and then later was dominated by the United States. Yes. The United States became the single most influential country in shaping modern international law after 1945. Now, the United States led the drafting of the UN Charter in 1945. They brought in the Bretton Woods system, which include the IMF and the World Bank. We come in, provide financial assistance that can cripple your economy so that our economy can thrive. The push for institutions governing international peace, trade, and human rights. Now, all these things is to the benefit of one person and to protect one country's interest. The United States. Now, the day their interests will be threatened, they wake up and then break the rules. And after they are able to pick up and make sure that their interest is back on track, then they'll set new rules. That is just what it is. That's why I said it in countless of my live sessions that, the world need new rules. But those who win this war that we are fighting right now, or the world is fighting right now, will design the new rule. The new world order will be designed by those who win the war. Period. Now you understand why the United States doesn't give a hoot about the UN Charter or whatever. Donald Trump is only making things much more clearer. Donald Trump is doing just what America has been doing with narrative, cooking. Donald Trump doesn't know how to cook narrative. He goes straight to the point. Venezuela, we need your oil. Greenland, if you don't take Greenland, we need Greenland for our protection. So it's about expanding empire. Donald Trump is saying that they need Greenland because if they don't take Greenland, China and Russia will go in and take Greenland. How? That is the same fight which landed Russia and Ukraine into banter. You wanted to be their next neighbor. Through what? Ukraine. But you don't want anybody to be closer to your doorstep. But you want to go. You see, this world as it is, as Ibrahim Traore said, we don't have neutrality. It is either the weak or you are strong. The weak will be preyed on by the strong. Period. Since the time the UN Charter have been set up, check history back from 1947 up till now. Which country has broken the rules of the UN Charter up till now more than anybody? Check it out. Those who set the rules control the system. The rule is not to keep the world safe, but the rule is to protect our interest. And today our interest is, how do you call it, at risk. And power is leaving our hands. We need to do something quickly. That's just what is happening right now. This is the reason why African leaders, we need to wake up and understand that, look, it's either we build ourselves to be strong or we'll be preyed on. I'm telling you the truth. I told you that Donald Trump has pushed the world back into the jungle world where everybody can just wake up and take any nation they want to take. Tomorrow, the United States can decide that, hey, we want the gold of this particular country here in Africa. We will say, oh, we want our sovereignty, we will not give it to you, and hey, we are taking it by force. Nothing you are going to do about it. Because there's no structure, a system holding the world. The world is automatic pilot run by those who, have power. Military power I'm talking about. So forget the issue of the international law. They drafted it. So when you are saying that United States, who made you the police of the world, you people are referring to the UN Charter drafted by the United States. You make them the police of the world automatically. Donald Trump is just being real, doing what they have done by the United States to protect their interests. Period. Anyway, let me know your thought on this in the comment section. See you in the next episode. Drop your thought respectfully, all right? See you in the next episode. Respect.